Hello, and welcome to the basic training for the Betach Cloud Marketplace. So first thing we're going to do here is you want to go to www.betach.com. From our website, along the top bar here, you want to click on the Marketplace. Now what I will be doing is sending out each user a username and password that they will be able to log in from the first time. So what we're going to do is we'll go into the manage account area here for existing customers. And now here's where you're going to be entering the email address that I provide for you, as well as the password. What you can do is if you want to be able to access this page quickly, this is where I would suggest that you bookmark it. So what we're going to do is we're going to log in here. Now that we're logged in, it takes us to your profile information page. So this tells me the account name, the email that's set up with it, as well as the default billing address. What you're going to want to do is after you've logged in the first time, you're going to want to come down here and change your password. So you'll insert the password that I provided for you and then create a new password. It has to be a minimum of 8 characters long. It needs to have uppercase, lowercase, and special characters. I will also include those instructions in the email that I send along to you. Primarily, what you're going to want to do then is oftentimes when you're in this marketplace, you're going to be in here adding and removing users or licenses from your account. So you go up to the account section and you click on Cloud Management. This is going to show you a breakdown of all current subscriptions. So you'll notice here I have one Office 365 Business Premium user in here. It tells you the renewal date and the status. So now if I want to go in and change the number of active licenses I have, I go in and I click on View Workload. Once I click on View Workload, it takes me to another screen here. So you'll notice along the top it says status is activated. It also tells me the total estimated price. Gives me some workload actions. Moving down here also shows you status activated again. So now what I want to do is if I want to change this to 2 users now, because I have another member in my company now, I delete the 1, I add a 2, and then I click this plus sign here. What this is going to do is it's now adding another license into my tenancy. Once I've done this, I'll click plus. It's going to ask me if I want to update the number of users. Go ahead. And now it'll load here. So what it's doing is it's actually updating and provisioning this additional license. As well as you'll notice the status up here is changing. So once this change is final, we should see this number change. There you go. So now the status is set to active once again, and we now have 2 users within the system. So I'm just going to go back and change this back to 1 user for now. And you'll also notice that the total price has changed to reflect the number of users. There's also a user note section in the bottom here. One thing that's important to note with the user note section is it's not a change log. It just is a continuous reference note. So if I went in here and said I add the date as 2017 0706, now I can go ahead and change this here, click save on it. Now next time I come in, this comment will be here once again. So the notes were usually saved. So if I came back in here another time, I can go in and I can just add the new date as 2017. Say I came back in a couple of months, 03, added 3 new users. And Then you just go ahead and click the save button, and you can just keep this as a continuous log. So the notes were successfully saved there as well. Along the top here, you also notice workload actions. So if you want to completely deactivate the license SKU, you go up here and you click deactivate, and that will completely remove all and suspend the licenses. And that would only be the case if you're absolutely sure that you need to be deleting all of them. If you're just changing users, just use this user section here. So now that's for existing workloads. If we want to come in here and say we needed to add another license, what we'll do is we'll go to our marketplace along the top here. So the marketplace has all of the Office 365 and Dynamics pieces in here. So what we'll do is say we wanted to add an Office 365 Business Essentials license. So I can go in here, I can add this user. So this is the plan I've selected. Gives you information about the plan, one user. Pay as you go is the only option. Now this is automatically installed as the domain that is necessary for this. And you agree the terms and conditions, and you can add this workload. So now this workload has been added to my shopping cart, and I want to proceed to checkout. Now that I've proceeded to the checkout, you'll notice this is similar to the other screen before, but the status bar says unavailable, and the status up top says inactive. So what we need to do here under Workload Actions is we actually need to activate this license. Otherwise, if we just got to this point and we go back to our cloud management, so we only have one active license here, but you'll also notice that now there's an inactive order that hasn't been processed. So what you'll do is you'll want to go into there, and you're going to want to activate that license. Once that license is activated, it now becomes a resource, and the status is going to change here, as well as this will then light up so that it's now available to you to use. If you want to be able to assign these to users, you would go ahead and do that through your normal Office 365 administrator portal. This is purely just for the licensing mechanism. So it's a little slow here right now, but once this is provisioned, then that will turn green and we'll have an active license here. So now the workload's been activated, the status is active, and we're good to go. So I'm just going to go ahead here and I'm going to deactivate this workload because it's just for a test. So now it's going to go ahead, it's going to deactivate it, it's going to change the status there, and it's going to edit the number of users. And then that workload has been deactivated now. So the marketplace is where you can go in and add any additional resources that you would have been able to otherwise. The cloud management for adding and removing of all licenses, and your profile, which would be where you'd go ahead and change your password. If you do run into issues and you need a password reset, just simply email support@betach.com and we'll be able to assist you through this process. And that is the completion of the Betach Cloud Kiosk portal. Thank you.